And we're back with Oriana here, or whatever her name is. Definitely pinned the slow down on fraps here. I'm thinking I was recording too quickly. I fixed the FPS it records at here. Should hopefully make a difference. Anyway, as you'll remember, we just traveled to some crazy out-of-body experience and met a lady with a great party trick. And now we're talking to this chick. Now, Oriana here is a healer that lives out in the woods, and she's important because she can actually teach us two spells that we will not only be getting to max level, which is going to be usually very rare, and but we will also be using these throughout the entire game. Is how good they are. Now, the important part is that Oriana will only teach you this magic for a very short period of game time. Strength and Air Shield. Strength makes you hit harder more accurately generally. As you can see down in the bottom there, you need a wizard rank of 1 to cast it, and takes a herb as its component. All magic takes components in addition to casting out of HP. Air Shield adds protection, which I guess implies that's going to be our dodge, meaning defense is our damage reduction. So, basically it's more armor, and if you can get your wizard rank up high enough, it gives a pretty nice boost. We're going to learn Air Shield. We're actually going to skip Strength for now. You'll see why later. We're not going to learn anything else from her. We're going to save the rest of our EXP. It's added a journal entry. And now we don't really have anything else to do here, so we're actually going to start heading back to the castle. And by start heading back, I mean we're going to get lost and have wacky adventures. Also, since time of last recording, I've realized I was doing something odd with our equipment. If you'll look here, as I can scroll it over, Aileron actually has 3 in sword, but only 2 in hafted. So that's going to mean, even though the club is technically better, we've got a better skill with sword, so it's gonna even itself out, pretty much. These little glow balls, if you were reading the text, Oriana placed here to lead us back to the castle, because Aileron is apparently quite bad at following paths. As we will easily learn over the course of this, air quotes, grand adventure. Did I? I'll think of this way. As you can see, I'm already getting lost. I'm already getting lost. Little light balls, where did you go? Oh, well, this is a good sign. I've done this 3, 4 times now while I've been messing with the recording. Oh, well, hey, more money. That's a start. Come on now, the one time I actually managed to get lost is when I've actually just figured out what's wrong with the recording. Well, let's retrace our steps. You may want to get comfortable. Well, maybe I'm going backwards. Let's try that. Let's head this way. There we go. Oh, hey, look, Marmarari. who also mysteriously know of us. These are actually going to be... Oriana gave us a letter and told us to seek out some Mirari. I think these are them. We're actually going to be meeting up with them later in Aramon, if we're lucky. The house is ridiculously difficult to find, and the letter is quite unhelpful in that regard. Um, so it may boil down to just checking every single room in every single house until we get there. And we may still miss it. And now they're basically here to tell us about the portals. Unfortunately, we can't just plop down a blue one and a yellow one and go flying around. That would be much easier. Has previously mentioned that they're basically telling us, you know, well, all the mages who know how to work these things are dead, so now you have to find the matching portals. There you go, yeah, now they're mentioning it. I believe the names of these two are Zurine and Gatzone, or something along those lines. I wonder if the journal will tell us. Yep, Zurine and Gatzone. Oh, okay, she hasn't given us that letter yet. Spoilers! And now we go back to playing Follow the Wisp. Oh, here's that portal again. Actually, also, going back and looking at the older recordings, I realized I missed out on a small pile of gold right here, behind that tree. And I think we actually missed Kindal's hat. It should have been somewhere around this portal here. But I mean, that's really not that big a deal. It's just a couple, oh no, here it is. See this little root-looking thing I kept wandering by? Kindle's hat gives us a point of protection, but it takes away from our stealth. Early game, we're going to want the protection. I mean, we could have easily replaced it from other sources, but now that we found it, it's nice. But later game, we're probably going to want to find a solution that doesn't involve us being so loud. I'm guessing it subtracts from stealth since it looks like your classic black mage hat and is so tall. I don't know. This game's got quirky rules for things like that. Anyway, heading back to the castle here. This is going to be kind of the one time the game's ever going to give us a break and lead us anywhere. And as you can see, we're kind of only half paying attention. There's a bridge spanning a river up here. Hopefully that won't cause slowdown. We're running okay. And once again, we're actually going to find some gold and promptly ignore our guide back to town. Because down this river, there's a little town. It's not a very pleasant town. Here we are. Now, I have my suspicions that this is the town where Alaron was born. Like, no one ever really specifically mentions it, but they mention there was like a fire he was saved from and whatnot. And this town is obviously quite badly burned. And it's not too far from the castle town. You know, it's just one of those things. There's a lone goblin down here we'll go deal with. You can also speed up enemy movement by pressing A on their turn. There we go. Oh, he's taking a shot at me. Oh god, he's actually hitting. Well, we're seeing a little slowdown. Let me see about... There we go. Okay, that seems to have fixed it for now. Man, he's actually doing quite the number on us. There we go. Ah yes, we've just scored a critical hit. As you will learn, in this game, critical hits, the only reason they're exciting is because you actually hit them. The damage doesn't really get boosted at all. Maybe it does like another 6 points. You know, it's actually fairly boring to get a critical hit. Like, let's see here. This saber might actually be better than what we're using. 45 and 2? Yeah, it is, by 5 accuracy. So we'll be going in and equipping that. And that's really the only monster in this town. At this point, we're free to explore. By the way, these healing potions are terrible. You don't really start using potions up until you get curing potions. There are really only 2 items in this town we're interested in. The first item is a ring, a Namer's ring, which doesn't really do much of anything except for the fact it's got what's called spell battery. And whenever you have items with spell battery on them, it'll add all that up, and then whenever you cast a spell, it'll use up the spell battery in place of your stamina up until spell battery runs out. It does regenerate every day, every time you